Aloha, everybody, and happy Valentine's Day from yesterday. Well, welcome, Carrie. Let's see, we got Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. That's Jamie, welcome, and Kristen Louise, aloha. And it looks like we got 4 people watching right now. I'm sure people will be trickling in as we progress. I do have things set up for another camera, but while I set that up, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the idea behind the deck and like a little bit of the process you went through.
Sure. And I have to tell you, I just love seeing you hold that. I love seeing people hold the deck. Yeah.
You know what I should do? I should take this box, go down to the beach, put it in the sand with like a sunset behind it or something.
Such an Instagram moment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Erica's here. Oh my gosh. Hello.
Hi, Erica. Welcome.
Robinson. She is one of the world's best Lenormand readers you will ever meet.
So, oh, wow. Okay. So I'm in the process of trying to create a Hawaiian Lenormand.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Talk to Erica. Yes. Everybody's saying yes, you should do that.
Well, I have a sample deck on its way to me. I'll see if I need to change anything or anything. But yeah, I'm putting it on Make Playing Cards because I don't know any better. And I was originally going to paint, but I took a class with Kelly Fitzgerald where she was talking about how easy it is just to like get pictures off Pixabay and use that for an oracle kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I went, a picture Lenormand. So I went on there and scoured for all kinds of tropical type pictures and included a few pictures of my own. So like the child card is literally my child.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Well, that's what the relative tarot is like. You know, like a lot of people send in photographs of their relatives or their ancestors, I should say. And you know, there's something about having somebody you love in a divination deck that kind of brings life from the afterlife or the alive life into your readings. There's a certain place that you can anchor yourself in their photographs because you know them, or you know somebody that knows them, or there's somebody who has had an experience. And for people who are really into psychometry, they can look at the images and really kind of feel their way through the person's life or the life experience. So yeah. Oh, Silky's here. Hi, Silky and Regina and Peter. Wow.
Oh, wow. So many people. Hello, Regina. Peter. Oh, Peter J. Watts. Do you know Peter?
I do. I know him from social media.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Jonathan and I were just talking about social media and how I'm kind of slowly pulling myself out of it. So it's good to see everybody. Now that I'm seeing everybody, I'm thinking, maybe I should stay on.
Well, and that's why I stay on. I mean, I stopped really trying to create a Instagram page because I've just been watching all my my cartomancy friends have to deal with the clones, the constant clones coming out, and it's just, and the fact that they don't do anything about it is just really disconcerting. And
yeah, it's hard to keep. It's really hard.
I haven't really been keeping up with trying to keep it going. Oh geez, there we go. It's all muted. I don't know why it always does that to me.
Tarot Stat, that's a great and a great picture, a great name. That's good branding right there.
And Tarot Stash is amazing.
I love that. Yeah. So make sure all my stuff is turned off too. Well, this is exciting.
There we go. Add to stream.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Thank you.
Of course. Let's see.
Silky is noticing that you have your Elvis shirt on.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I wore this special for you. Okay.
Oh, look, I love the heart on the box too. That's awesome.
So, and I know this was originally a Kickstarter that came with an oracle as well. Do
Yeah.
you have any plans on bringing the oracle out as well?
So I'm in negotiations with Weiser about doing that. We'll see.
Mhm.
so, so I really want to honor the people who back the Kickstarter project, and the
Mhm.
way that you do that is by not repeating what they received. And that extra oracle in the deck was just for them. So if I make another spirit oracle, it will be with a whole new set of
Whole new
cards.
set of cards. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. And I have to admit that you had some extras on your website, and I almost bought one, and then I hesitated, and then they were gone. I'm
Oh,
like, no.
sorry, and I have none left. And somebody sent me a link the other day that somebody was selling their copy for like $400.
Wow.
Wow, you know, I really hope they don't sell it because that just seems ridiculous, you know, to buy a deck for $400 that's only a year old, right?
Right. Well, I mean, Bumstone went all the way to like 1,200.
So silly. Yeah,
Craziness, right?
yeah, it is.
Let's see. Peter says, Julie says hello. Our daughter is dyeing her hair right now.
I gave that up years ago.
Yeah, last time I dyed my hair was in college, and it was like spiky blue hair.
Cool, cool.
Okay, so this is obviously shuffled. One thing I do appreciate is that you have justice and strength, two
Mm,
cards each, 1/8, 1/11, so you can choose which one you want. Right?
yeah.
And I also love how you've put
The corresponding
the
numbers.
corresponding majors and the minors that are affected by it. Right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the idea behind this, first of all, thank you for noticing that the extra cards help both camps, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
like I read Thoth. I use the Thoth deck a lot. And so the
Right.
number system is a little bit different from a popular version, which a lot of people use, which is the Rider Waite system, you
Right.
know. And so I wanted to give everybody who uses the Thoth or the Marseille uh, method, you know, an opportunity in theirs because there's not a lot of us, but we do use that. And
Right.
so I also learned the numerology system from Angelise Arian, who wrote the Tarot Handbook, and she
Mm-hmm.
really introduced me to the birth cards and the annual cards and how they correspond with the major arcana cards. So
Which is what the book is all about, isn't it?
it's totally what the book is about. It's not a beginner's book at all. It's about learning how to identify who you are in the cards by creating your own tarot blueprint.
Yeah, so I was going to see if there's an easy one. This is where it's pointed out what the numbers mean.
Yes, yeah. And
And
Weiser did a great job of that, I think, because I think in the first edition that I did, my book was really small and the print was really tight together. So Weiser just like opened it up and made it really,
open it up and spread it out a little.
yeah, they let it breathe. They gave it a great life.
So calculating your birth card lets you know what the cards are that are your blueprint, basically.
Yeah, so everybody has a birth card, kind of like everybody has a sun sign. Like I'm a Gemini, and I'll be a Gemini
Mhm.
for the rest of my life. It's a fixed sign in my until I die. And then we also have a set of birth cards that are assigned to us at birth through the calculation of the numbers in our birthday, and those are fixed, and those will stay with us for the rest of our lives as well. So the idea behind this deck is that, you know, I kind of have noticed over the years that when I do a reading for somebody, I always do their birth cards, and I've been doing that for like gosh, over 15 years now. And
Mhm.
when people bring in their families to the reading, I always ask, your families, whoever you're talking about, their birthday, and I'll get that information, and I began to notice that everybody was sharing a lot of the same birth cards and families.
Mhm.
Like there's all these, like my husband's family is practically all chariots, right? Even the dead ones, right? And so
Wow.
I I just thought, wow, there must be some kind of an interesting ancestral connection that I can like
Mhm.
check into and see what is causing this. What's the root of this? Why does this number want to keep showing up in the life of these families? And so
Right.
that's one of the reasons why I brought that numerology system into the ancestral tarot, or into the relative tarot.
So I'm just going to show one page to let people see. So, like, here's the blueprint for High Priestess, Justice, or Strength, and Judgment.
Yep.
So you have the 3 cards talking about where, if it's your inner outer expression, the hidden shadow, right?
Yep.
Depending on which system of adding you use, I'm either the 11-2 or the 22.
Right. And there's a whole explanation that would take like about an hour to explain how all of that works. But buy the book and buy the buy the text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is really interesting. I think that knowing your birth numbers really does explain a lot of really interesting things about why we consciously or unconsciously feel motivated to express ourselves in a certain way. And it really, really helps for the diviners who are listening to guide you in understanding your sitter a lot better, a whole lot better.
Well, the thing that I really appreciate is you don't just have the 3. We also talk about the minors that are connected,
Yeah,
and then how they're connected to the
right.
main cards as well. So this is the deck does not come with a book that tells you what the cards mean. This is obviously not a beginner's deck.
No, I didn't want uh, there's so many great books out there on how to read the cards and the meanings of the cards.
Mhm.
It just doesn't, it just seemed redundant, and it just kind of lateral, right? So
Right.
I really wanted to explain this part of the process more than anything. And so anybody can go online and look up what justice means, and then figure it out for themselves. Um,
Mhm.
so I just wanted to explain that, hey, if you use the system, these are the things that can happen for you. And I'm
Right.
hoping that people will get that.
Do you have you noticed anyone using this deck specifically for like ancestor readings, past life readings? I mean, I know that's what it's meant for, but I know also that a lot of people like to pair your deck with the Ancestral Tarot book by Nancy Henderson.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
love Nancy's book. That's like one of the books that I've read cover to cover. Highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend it. Yeah, Ancestral Tarot by Nancy Henderson. Yeah, Nancy has just some of the best spreads, and she has written one of the best books on how you can communicate with your ancestral line through the tarot. Doesn't have to be my deck; could be any deck.
Any
And
deck. I just have noticed that people like to pair the two.
they get along together. I told Nancy I think they're cosmic cousins. They
They do belong together.
really do. And the deck. My goal was to have a deck that people can communicate with their ancestors with, because that was
Mhm.
my jam for like 5 years. I was teaching some classes on mediumship and casting, mediumship and tarot with Andrew McGregor of the Hermit's Lamp. And, we taught it all over the world. We taught it in China and Europe and Canada and the States. And people just really were hungry for that. So this is kind of an extension of that information as
Mhm. Thank you, Jamie. She just
well.
threw
Yeah,
up the link for Amazon.
thank you
Um,
so much, Jamie. It's wonderful.
So I guess technically this is one of my birth cards. It's funny that it's on top. I didn't even mean to.
Fantastic.
Where did you actually source a lot of the imagery? I know that it was supposed to be like theater promo photos. Is that right?
Yeah, so the court cards are a lot of stage actors, some from the early or later 1800s, early 1900s. And they came from a lot of resources. When I was traveling more, like I would spend a lot of time in Europe and a lot of time in the States. And whenever I would go to Europe, I would go into antique shops and get postcards. And these were a lot of the postcards of these wonderful people. But also a lot of the cards in the deck um, were donated to me from people from our community, from our tarot community. So a lot of family is actually in the deck as well, as is mine. So that's been wonderful because it's like everybody's deck, you know. That's actually Houdini.
I was about to say that's Houdini, isn't it?
That was from a long time
Because
ago.
actually, when I looked down, I saw it like this. And I recognize that picture.
Yeah, he would go into these water tanks chained up like this or out in the water and do his escape act, which I thought was really great for the hangman.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I loved how you also included images from the RWS cards themselves in the pictures.
Yeah, thanks for noticing that. I wanted to make it recognizable. So, yeah. Oh, Well-Tempered Claire just purchased the deck. My gosh, thank you. That's quite
hi, Andrew. And Zane's here too. Welcome, everyone. Sorry if I didn't say hi to you.
And the Hierophant, I wanted it to be a woman this time because I think there's just too many masculine of that card. And here's this very priestess-like person, you know, in the pose, right? As above, so below. You know, that I just thought she was perfect. So yeah.
Yeah, and I love how you superimposed the image of the Hierophant's robes on top of her.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but you know, how many people do you know that when they look at the Hierophant, they just think, oh, you know, they just get so turned off by that card just because of the dogma that's attached to it. And you know, I just wanted to shake things up a little bit.
I always appreciate decks that don't have it as like a stereotypical Pope image.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we have a question for you here from Andrew, Well-Tempered Claire. Do you personally use the mass market or indie version?
You know, it's funny that you asked that. I use both together. You know, like how Lenormand has the house systems. So I like to lay down the indie version first. And what I do is I use those as my ancestors' voices. And then I overlay those with the mass produced deck. And I use those as the voices of the living. I mean, you can go either way.
Just want to show you this. Tarot Stash says, my copy will arrive by Friday.
Thank you, Tarot Stash. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Gerald.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome, James. James Welsh just popped in.
Oh, my guy, James.
Here's my soul card.
Oh, that's
love this High Priestess.
And that's James Wells's card too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a high
priest. Timing.
Yeah, of course, he would show up when that card shows up. Part of the Kickstarter campaign was James Wells, Mary Greer, and myself taught a 5-week course on how to read these cards, and James just did, of course, a fabulous job. Really gave people a chance to dive in deep on how to use the deck. And what I'll do is I'll send you a link to those classes so that people here who are watching can you know, have those recordings out if they want. Because please check, if you check out any of them, check out James's class because it's just excellent.
Oh, I love that. If you could get me the link, I'll add it to the description after.
Well, yeah. I will send it to you later because I can't find it right now. I turned everything off so we can be on this.
Yeah, no problem. Tara Stash Gerald does these deck casuals where people who love a deck get together and chit chat about it, and I'm all for it. Gerald, count me in.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that's a
Hey
great
Gerald, deck casual with me and Carrie on your channel. Mm-hmm.
idea. I'll wear my fake mustache.
And James wants us to check out all the classes.
Oh, definitely. Of course. Yeah.
Oh, Julie says, hi from the hair salon going into my bathroom.
Hey, Julie, great to see you. Now that's somebody you should interview. Her decks are just fantastic.
Oh yeah, she's been on.
Great.
I love Julie. Yeah.
Julie's
I interviewed her about the Ancestral Tarot, actually.
Yeah, yes. Love her stuff.
This is an amazing temperance.
Yes.
Julie's sending love.
Julie.
3 of Cups. The thing about this one is, like, I know it's supposed to be festive and stuff, but it's just so funny how they don't look like they're having a lot of fun.
You know, there's not a lot of people who smiled in those days in front of the camera, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to put these women in there because they just were so aware of their situation. I think what I wanted the 3 of Cups to be.
The reason why no one smiled is because it took so long to take a picture. Their face would hurt, and it'd be a blur if they tried to hold a smile for too long.
Yeah, yeah, it would be horrible.
I actually kept all 3 lovers in my deck.
Good. That's what, you know, who else told me about that when she divines is Teresa Reed. She just keeps all of the lovers in there, all the extra cards in there, just to see what will show up. And I think that's just a brilliant idea instead of separating it.
I will say I split out the strength and justice that I resonate with and put the other ones in the bottom of the box.
Good.
Just because it's like, I grew up in RWS, so it's like strength is 8, justice is 11. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten my brain wrapped around the other way of doing it too, but it's just, that's the way I was trained, so that's the way it's comfortable.
Yeah, you got to go with what you're comfortable with.
I mean, I could shuffle all 4 in the deck. I do like that idea. But then it's like, well, how do you interpret the strength 8 versus the strength 11?
Right. Well, I don't know. You should just experiment with it and let your intuition you on that one, for sure.
True. Think Ice Queen, says Julie. Oh, for her hair. Ooh, is it like white, silver, and blue?
Maybe.
Here's another lovers. Here's the heteronormal lovers. So you got like a hetero lovers, the lesbian lovers, and gay lovers.
Yeah, I wanted to make everybody represented if I could. You know, that was just so easy to do. And then
I actually used this deck for ancestral reading that I did with my meditation tarot group on Sundays, and I used this deck, and it was basically my grandfather like coming to say how disappointed he was that I wasn't straight. I'm like, really? That's the message you have for me? Okay, whatever.
From that perspective, even, huh? Wow. So how did you reply to that?
Well, it was like a 4-card spread, and it was just like, okay, how can we get in touch with our ancestors? Who is here? What's the message they have? And how can we honor them? All 4 were majors.
Okay.
But so the one that was supposed to be represent like who it was the Hermit, and I immediately thought of my grandfather, because my mom's dad specifically, because he was always kind of by himself on his own doing his own thing. Um, and
Wow.
then what's the message? I pulled out the heteronormal lovers, and I just got this download of like, I'm the last of his lineage, so
Yeah.
why am I not passing it on? That was the main
Yeah.
message. That's why he was upset. No other reason, just that I'm not passing on his genes,
His
basically.
legacy, right? He wants a legacy.
He
Yeah.
wants a legacy, exactly. And the way to honor him was the star card. And I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
obviously I need to bring hope. And one of the things that we did was we adopted a kid. So, that's bringing hope, I think, in a way.
Yeah. Peter was saying that I'm always surprised that our beloved dead
More
are involved.
involved.
You'd be surprised. There's still a lot of attachments,
Mhm.
to their experience. And I do believe, Peter, that they do eventually, like most humans, hopefully, they do evolve. And it's just kind of it feels disappointing, but I often feel that when the living are speaking to the beloved dead, we often project this idea that just because they're disembodied, their experience is more loving and all encompassing. And that's not always the case. It's just not always the
Mhm.
case. But I have witnessed the evolution of it's almost like a transcendent experience of the beloved dead. So, Jonathan, I really do believe that your grandfather might eventually change over time.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and as Andrew said, hence the purpose of reincarnation.
could be. It really could be. Yeah, I'm sure
Mhm.
there's a lot of purposes behind that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great way of looking at it.
A way of continuing to learn and evolve.
Yeah.
I love this Two of Wands.
So that's Madame Curie.
Oh.
Yeah. So she didn't. She had a test tube in her hand with the
Mhm.
globe in it. So I just kind of switched things up a little bit. But yeah,
No, I love this. And is
yeah.
that the moon she's holding?
Yes. Yeah. I thought, well, if our ancestors are going to be in this, would they be holding the earth or something more cosmic and, luminous? And that's what I
Right. And seeing the Earth from the moon is like the perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Love this world card
Yeah,
too.
it's one of my favorites as well. Yeah.
I guess Andrew has to go, but he says one last thing before I go. I actually love using your deck, Carrie, for past life reading. The energy of the deck just clicks for me in that way.
Oh, Andrew, I would love to talk to you more about that. I'd love to learn more about that. Thank you. So if you get a chance, shoot me an email. I want to know more about what you're
Yeah, I'd
doing.
love doing past life readings myself, and I think this is a great deck for past life readings for
Yeah,
sure.
I'd love to know, like, how do you start your reading with a past life reading? What's the spreads you're using? All of those things. Be
Oh
great.
yeah, I'll send you some of the spreads I use.
Thanks. I would love that.
Speaking of my grandfather, that's
Yeah.
the card. Yeah,
Is
I
that his
was like, oh, that's my grandpa.
is that his birth card?
No, it just when I saw this image, I immediately thought of my grandfather. He had this special blue chair he always sat in. He'd always
Mm,
be vegged out on like some sports or news thing and ignoring everybody else. And well, see, he was like the only guy in a family full of girls. And then I came along and he wanted to play football with me. And I wanted something to do with the football. I just climbed up into the attic and pulled out my aunt's old dolls or something. My mom was always telling me this story. So he was very disappointed.
wow. Yeah.
Andrew says that he uses Benabel Wen's past life spread.
Okay, thanks. I'll look into that. That's awesome.
I've I've found some. I just did like a past life spread Google search, and I found some good ones.
Good.
But I've also created a few of my own spreads for past
Yeah,
life readings.
let's see what you create. Yeah.
I love how she's like, hmm.
So these are the stage actors, that I used for the court card.
Right, for the
There,
courts.
she was a child. She was portraying a child in a younger version of somebody play. So yeah.
Oh, I love this Queen of Wands.
Me too. I fell in love with her right away.
Strength. Now, is that a real lion or a stuffed lion she's sitting on? Who knows?
I think it was stuffed. I'm pretty sure it was stuffed. Sadly.
Sadly. Yeah. Well, that's how they preserved animals back then. They just stuff them and set them up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an interesting Four of Swords. Because normally you see the person reclining, here they're meditating.
Yeah, you see them usually laying down in the Rider-Waite-Smith energy, and again,
It still gives rest, right?
yes, different version of rest. This woman, this card, actually, I wanted to make her eye cover a little bit transparent, because I think a lot of people look at this card and they feel like they're, restricted on some level and they can't really see their way out or feel their way out. And so I wanted to give them an opportunity to actually see that somebody is looking out. Even when they're blindfolded, you can have some version of sight of your situation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful. And it's the hands you use for the aces. Like, where do they come from?
They came from what was that card or that postcard? I can't remember. They had a glass in their hand, though. It was like this postcard with somebody with a glass, and it's the same hand in every ace.
Every ace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I loved it that usually in the the Rider-Waite imagery, the hand is pretty masculine to me, so I wanted something really elegant and feminine aces. So yeah.
Oh, don't be sorry, Tarot Stash. I'm not sorry. Shameless plug. If there are 3 more people interested in joining a relative tarot deck casual, please email me directly, tarotstash@gmail.com.
Awesome.
I believe this deck has needed impact for the universe.
I love that. Thank you.
We have the 2 of Pentacles.
Clearly a stage actress there. Yeah. This was a challenge. This card was a challenge for me because I really couldn't find somebody that was in a nightmare mode, like,
Right.
and
So
so
we got the yawn.
so it's like somebody just kind of waking up after the nightmare, I guess.
Right, and holding that sword. Yeah. Yeah, I bet it would probably be really hard to find someone going like this and then you need shots, right?
Yeah, I have them. They just didn't work, So she wanted to be in there. It's interesting, whenever you, as you know from doing your Lenormand deck, when you're creating a deck, the cards kind of have a mind of their own. They know where they want to be, and I have a lot of arguments with them, and they always win.
They always win.
Yeah.
I love this 3 of Swords. Because you get the traditional image up here, but then this guy with a sword through his head.
Yeah, I can't remember what's the card in a regular playing deck of cards where the Suicide King is it the King of Spades? Where
It's the King of Hearts, isn't it?
King of Hearts. Yeah, so I just wanted some fun reference to the Suicide King.
Is that right? Now I'm second guessing myself.
Look it up.
Can someone tell us who the Suicide King is? Because I can't remember. It is Spades, isn't it? Must be Spades. That makes sense if it would be Spades.
It would, but
Oh my god, I love how he's singing. Everyone's got their ears
plugged. They don't have anything to do with him. Yeah, I mean, how many times have people pulled this card because nobody's listening to me? That's that thing that nobody listens to me anymore. So that's why this card won out.
Death. That is a fun death card, I gotta say.
Yeah, in the indie version, there were 2 death cards. One was a man wearing a death cloak, the whole thing. Again, I just wanted to do something different for this, so I chose this one.
Yeah, and you look into the past instead of the future.
Yes, exactly. Very good. James Wells
So
and
this is the
say
same
that it is the King of Hearts. Good. Thanks, you guys.
King of Hearts. Okay, I didn't remember it right. I always second guess myself.
Me too. This
All
is why we have these people, like I always call our community our divination, like our divination is just a nation of information, and you can tap in and ask anytime and you'll get all kinds of great answers.
right. I love the star card. Did you add the star to the dress, or is that part of the picture?
I didn't, and even her wand had a star on it, so she obviously she wanted to be the star card.
She wanted to be the star card, obviously. Wheel of Fortune. He's working on a bicycle spoke.
Yep. This was another
Chariot.
well, this was a challenging card for me too, because I couldn't really find any good chariots, anything really where people aren't, holding on to the reins or anything like that. So I wanted to use her, and what she's on this really old contraption that is an exercise machine. So her legs are kind of, I think her feet push up and back, on some level, and her arms are straddled in something, and she can pull on that, and yeah, so that's what that is.
Yeah, I see the contraptions. It almost looks like a sewing machine wheel next to her.
Yeah. And the Ten of Swords is from the same group of photographs that I got, where a guy is on a exercise table, and so she was part of that group.
Judgment.
Speaking of ancestry, this is my ancestral card. This is the card where I always see this family kind of coming up from these open coffins, and usually in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see a repeat of that family, and then a repeat after them in really small dots. And to me, this card describes how the family pattern often repeats itself generationally down the family line. And so this is the opportunity. This is the family that wakes up from the calling of changing that ancestral inheritance and really stepping into their authenticity.
Oh, Julie says for the exercise thing, it's a treadle.
Ah, great. Thanks, Julie. You have one, Julie.
She's so crafty. She probably does.
One, right? Yeah. And painted it really great colors.
Right.
And this is a busker that I found a picture of a busker.
Oh, that's a perfect for a 6 of Pentacles.
Asking for money from the public, as she plays her music.
She just finished playing her lyre. Or mandolin, if it's a mandolin.
Like it.
This is the fierce Knight of Swords.
I loved him. I fell in love with him right away. He was like one of the first cards I made.
Mm-hmm.
And this card breaks my heart. These are they're both slaves, by the way. There were children who were abandoned, who were white, and also children that were born into slavery. And these two were often photographed together for a group that would try to raise money for them to kind of be reestablished back into community or outside of slavery. So they would use this photograph, but as it turns out, it was a questionable organization, so nobody really knows where the money went.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you really look at this photo, I mean, these kids are, you know, those aren't your typical faces or eyes, right? Of
Right.
had a real free, happy childhood. So there's a lot of memory attached, a lot of nostalgia. A lot of us, you know, didn't always have happy childhood memories. And so that idea of nostalgia can go both ways. And so I just thought
Mm.
perfect couple.
Wow, that's powerful. Oh, this is a fun 8 of Wands.
Yeah,
Just on for a ride.
yeah. I originally had him on a magic carpet, but took it out. So
Yeah. I just was gonna say it looks like he's riding a magic carpet.
very good. And this is my crush card. This is the man I'm in love with. So mysterious. He was actually a professor in South America, and he would do these mind reading things on stage. And so he would blindfold himself and, ask for information from this side of the realm to, the realm of the living, and he would be that conduit in between. But I just thought he was just magnificent.
He was one of the first mediums.
One of them, yeah.
Page 1. Oh, the 7 of Pentacles.
It's kind of intense, right? He kind of was like, well, should I put this guy in here? And because somebody said, oh my God, Carrie, he looks like an axe murderer.
No.
But whenever you go into the woods, you never know who you're going to run into, right? So I thought that he would be perfect for that. And he's from Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. Mm-hmm. 4 of Cups.
And I don't know if you can see the flowers on her lap, but she was doing, they love me
Oh,
not.
they love me not. Yeah. And then she looks like
He does look like Putin, James.
he's very pensive.
Oh, Kristen, yeah, I think that would be a great card.
Oh, wow, Kristen.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe a grave digger.
Oh, I like that.
I love this Queen of Swords.
She's wonderful. Her name escapes me now. She's from a royal family, and I apologize for not remembering. But yeah.
I'm going to say she looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
10 of Cups.
Yeah, this was one of the first graduating classes of Black people in the States, I believe. And it was from the late 1800s. And so this is a celebration of the family here.
I don't know if you see what Star Dancer just said. Hi, Carrie. It's Debbie from the group. Lovely to see you here.
Love you. Hi, Deb.
Love this Empress.
Yeah, I wanted to feel somebody that you could feel at home with and smoke her hookah pipe, and like she's got it all right there. Just relax.
Right.
Yeah.
3 of Wands. Oh my God, this Page of Swords. It's a child sword swallower.
Unbelievable, right? I didn't even have to overlay any Rider-Waite imagery on this one. This is like the one that there is absolutely no Rider-Waite imagery, because he's got his sword and he's doing his magic, and yeah, so perfect.
Just crazy. Oh, I love this magician.
Thank you. Yeah, I do too. That's my birth card, by the way. One of them.
This specific card has been stalking me every time I play with your deck.
Ah, interesting. What's it saying to you?
Actually, that was the first card that popped out for the ancestry reading. 8 of Cups. She a ice skater? No.
Yes, she is.
She is? Okay.
Good eye. Yeah. Really good eye. So I think I took one of her blades off though. Uh, but it's whenever you're a deck creator, you get a lot of criticism. You get more criticism than you do anything else. And
Well, right, because if someone likes it, they're not going to say anything.
usually not, which is fine. Which is fine. And I rarely open my social media mail. And in fact, I have
Mhm.
opens it for me nowadays because I don't like Messenger and all that stuff. And
Right.
so with that card got the most flack. Yeah,
This one?
because she was looking
Really?
at her shoulder and not looking ahead. Yeah, kind of
Just because she's looking over her shoulder
because people are so attached to
to the imagery they're used to.
it. Yeah, so yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting.
Aloha, Ange. Any trinkets and scrolls.
Oh, thanks, James. I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
James, I always agree.
Although filled with people that look like I do kind of comment. It's funny that you said that popped up because this really reminds me of like a younger version of my grandmother.
Oh, love that. Do you have a
Yeah.
photo of her?
Hmm?
Do you have any photos of her?
I do, just not handy.
You know, I was gonna say, if I do remake a new spirit oracle, I am on the lookout for old photos again. So if
Okay.
anybody has any photos that they want to donate, that would be great. Yeah. Bev,
I'll
Beverly.
have to ask my mom because she has all those old photos, and she's had them like touched up and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, that would be really cool.
Aloha, Beverly. Welcome.
Beverly. Beverly is going to be doing a couple of talks, I believe, right, Bev, at Newts and Tide this year. If I'm
Cool.
correct, I could be wrong. Didn't know
Oh,
that.
here's the Ten of Swords.
Yeah. So he's
You
on.
know what's funny seeing this is that I often see the Ten of Swords as a call for an acupuncture treatment.
You would.
I would.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but Jonathan is an acupuncturist. So yeah.
And one of my specialties is this a system that I created myself for acupuncture aided past life regression.
Oh, why do you live so far away?
You just have to come to Maui.
Jump over the ocean, right? So close.
Well, you were just saying you need to come visit Hawaii.
I know. I do.
Just stop on Maui for a little bit and
Yeah.
we'll get together.
Okay, sounds good.
The Fool. I love this Fool.
Thank you. Gosh, thank you so much. Yeah, he's a sweetheart, isn't he? I love him too.
He's so carefree and happy. Yeah, definitely very major Fool energy.
Yeah, so he was from a Russian ballet troupe,
Okay.
as is the next card. He's also from a Russian ballet troupe.
Such a great Seven of Swords. Wow. The other thing I really appreciate about this deck is not only do we get diversity as far as like ethnicity, but also age and body type and
Yeah, great. Glad you're noticing that. Yeah, I wanted, the pages are usually young adults, right? The knights are just a little bit older than that, and the king and the queen are in their maturity or their mature years. So I wanted to really make that visible if I could.
capture that. Right?
Cards, yeah.
I love that. Three of Pentacles.
Yeah, she's looking at her book. He's looking at his watch. The other woman's looking straight ahead, and they're all like, "Well, let's make a plan. Let's build something. How much time do we have?"
Right. Here's the plan. This is
Right.
how much time we got, and she's gonna direct things. Gerald says, I really enjoy this type of image. It lines up with my personal artist aesthetics.
Oh, wonderful. Make a deck.
I connected him with Rick of Madame Clara, and they're supposed to be working on a deck together.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
I love this Four of Wands.
Decks are coming out these days. I mean, remember when you're probably too young for this, but we used to have to order decks from, like, first of all, you would get the tarot book, and there were only like 3 books available at the time. But
Right.
most tarot books would be an order form on a piece of paper that you would have to fill out, put a check in or a money order in, send it to the publisher to order your deck, and then the deck would come in the mail like 2 weeks later. So, and there were only a few decks then, so that was just like, oh, so great. And
Right.
now you just go on to Amazon or wherever and get your deck.
During my time when I very first started in like the late 80s, it was you had to find the witchy shop in order to find the decks.
Yeah.
Luckily, I grew up in Santa Cruz where there's like witchy shops everywhere. So
Yep.
I was very lucky that way.
Yeah, I grew up in San Francisco, and so we would have head shops, right? That's where the decks.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, I remember them selling tarot decks at the head shops in Santa Cruz too. I'd say that. But I always went to the witchy shop. There was one specific one that was run by Mount Madonna. God, why am I blanking on the name of the store? It doesn't even exist anymore, so it doesn't matter. But they had like all things yoga and all things metaphysical, and that was where I would always go for my decks.
Yeah, Mount Madonna would have all that stuff for sure.
Is this Native Americans?
Yes.
Yeah, that twings that like, I have Native American blood, so I immediately.
You got it. Yeah. It hurts the heart a little bit to see that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's giving me chills and getting a little teary-eyed, so I'm gonna put that one down. Okay. 2 of Swords.
Oh, James said that he kind of liked the days of filling out forms. I miss it too. I'm kind of lonely for that too, James.
Mm-hmm.
To get tarot decks, and I often find out about them through newsletters. Oh, remember newsletters, James? Which ones did you get?
I'm trying to remember which ones I had back in the day. I don't even remember any of them.
And newsletters were really that. They were just these like few pieces of paper that were all black and white, or pink and white or yellow and white. Yeah, those were exciting to get in the mail too.
The witchy shops always carried a fee, so that's where I usually got them.
Yeah.
I'm guessing San Francisco, 1906.
Say that again?
San Francisco, 1906.
Yes. Good job. Wow.
Wow. Considering I grew up in Santa Cruz, it's like part of my history. So.
And I swear, you are so good at divining with this deck. You just look at an image and you just like pick up on where the cards are, who's on them, where they came from, the time period. It's really, really impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, my intuition's pretty.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Queen of Pentacles.
Yes. Oh, James said Mary Greer, Geraldine, and Miles, ATA. Oh, remember the ATA's newsletter? My God.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. I haven't thought of that in so long.
And how many of us took courses from the ATA? This online, it wasn't online. It was like through the mail on how to read the cards. Wow.
Yeah, my mom never let me sign up for this.
Yeah, a lot of us had to sneak it, I'm sure.
She just didn't want to spend the money on it, that's all. She didn't care about me learning or anything. She wanted me to just go buy a book instead of taking the class. She's like, it's the same thing.
No.
Yes. It's not the same.
This guy was a chimney sweep.
I was about to say chimney sweep. He's got his ladder and his tools.
Yep.
The sun.
Yeah, the happy people with the sun card. You know, I'm of the camp that the sun is the true wedding card in the deck
Okay.
because it's a
I
true
love
partnership card. It's the true authentic partnership card. And if you read the alchemical message, you know, the lovers is where the alchemical queen and king get together. And then in the temperance card, they do all their mix up, you know, and
that.
then
Hmm.
they become one under the sun in the sun card.
That's funny because I often think of the temperance card as the alchemy card.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's the alchemical card. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you look at the soft deck, that's exactly what it is.
For me, the sun card specifically is like the ultimate happiness card.
Yes. Me too. Yeah.
Every time I see it, it's like I can't help but smile.
Yeah. Total freedom, right?
Ten of Pentacles.
And this is a
Oh, this was during the Dust Bowl, wasn't it?
It was from this family that just arrived on Ellis Island.
Oh, Ellis Island. Okay.
Yeah.
I totally got Dust Bowl energy from this card, though.
Why you would get that because it looks like there's actually a lot of dust there. I used too many effects.
Oh, I see. It's all cracked at the bottom.
Yeah.
Ellis Island. Mm-hmm. That's where my family came through.
All right. Yeah, a lot of ours did.
Ace of Pentacles. Seven of Wands with a baseball player.
I have like 20 postcards of baseball players, and I thought I've got to use one of these guys for the wands. So
Yeah.
came in.
Oh, hey, Tangi. Rowan Biscotti is here.
Hey.
So Tangi has, she does readings, and she's so connected to her guides. It's like it's unreal what pops out of her.
Fantastic.
Nine of Wands. King of Pentacles.
Sitting Bull.
Which is funny considering I'm a Virgo, so.
Yeah, that's really your deck.
10 of Wands. What a poor grandma.
Yeah, she was schlepping that pile of wood on her back, and
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to overload her with 10 more wands, 10 more sticks.
It's not the 10 of Wands, it's the 50 of Wands.
Yeah, exactly.
Five of Swords. That's an interesting image. Because it's like you don't see him walking away, but obviously this guy is the winner, but he's let these two keep themselves.
Well said. Yeah.
Love this devil card.
Me too. I wanted just a temptress on there for the devil. You know, and she already had those horns on, and you know, she was already dressed as a devil and had the, you know, the pick in her hands. So yeah, I loved her.
And of course it ends on the gay lovers. Of course. Oh my god. I just noticed something that Tangi said. LOL, what pops out of me? Yes, it pops out and gets everywhere.
That's what we want.
Mm-hmm. So much hope. Okay, so let me turn this one off. Then we will. Oh, hello, Carrie. There. Actually, let's.
That's kind of.
There we go. That's better. Let me turn this off so I can open up chat because Carrie is amazing and offering to give away a copy of the deck.
I am. Look at this. Brand new copy.
Brand new.
And not just that, but something else.
Right. So, okay, I got the chat up on my phone now. I will not be able to see anyone for a minute. I'm switching over to my wheel of names. So if you are interested in entering the drawing, type me, and I will try and type as fast as I can. Thank you, Ange, for the thumbs up. So, moi, says James.
Whoops. And I see that Jonathan, you changed your order. You got two because you're going to share one. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I concur. I think that's a great idea. And thanks for the email. I'll open it right after we hang up. And James said, relative, our ancestors, current people, and future people of blood, association, and place. Interbeing, connected with the other, etc. Yeah, James. I miss you, James.
I'm typing as fast as I can.
Beverly, you should put your name in because we're giving away something else that's totally different from.
Yes, there's going to be two drawings, one for the deck and one for, do you want to tell them?
Sure. I'm going to create a custom casting kit for the other person that wins. Custom casting kits are things I do for people where they tell me, you know, what's going on in their lives and, you know, something that they want to aspire to achieve. And so what I do is I get out my billions of casting charms. You guys have you have no idea how many casting charms I have here and casting items, just tons. And what I do is I create a customized casting kit just for you, for your topic in mind. So put your name in there, Bev. While Jonathan's doing that, I'll show you guys a photograph that I have, which is this.
And I noticed that Jamie just texted me a list to double check.
Okay.
Let me just double check the list that she sent me against my list.
Still trying to read all this. Yeah. Beverly said, okay.
Whispers, yes. Kanji, Christina, Julia. Yes, that's all there. Okay, cool.
Let's do this.
Let me switch back over to you so I can then use this share.
Protect my energy AAC. Email me at carrieparis.com and I'll send you a copy of the PDF of the book.
Oh, hi AAC. Oh, and let me add one more. Hey AAC, do you want to get in the drawing? Drawing? Drawing?
You guys don't have VOG there, right? Like you on the Big Island?
We do get VOG occasionally.
Oh, that's intense. I remember that.
And I always feel it too.
It's like, know what it is. You should tell them what it is, Jonathan.
So VOG stands for volcanic fog, and so when the volcano is going off, it's like spews out these gases that disperse throughout the state, and it's like this thick haze in the air, causes burning in the eyes. A lot of people have breathing issues. Yeah, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I myself react to it pretty badly, and when it's super strong, I can't even breathe. I can't think properly.
Yeah. Roman Biscotti says that VOG is one of their go-to Scrabble words. What am I drinking? I am drinking black tea that's and James will appreciate this. It's Yorkshire Gold. It's one of my favorites. We started at 10 o'clock here, so it's only 11 o'clock here in Northern California. So I'm still in tea mode. And then, and then later today I'll have
see. Back to this. Share. Here we go.
look at this. This is, you guys, this is great.
Let me actually jump back over there and make it full screen.
Wow, Jonathan, you've really gone all out.
I don't see where to do the full screen, but that's okay. Oh, here it is. And, okay, just making sure we don't have anyone else I need to add before I click. I think we got everybody. If you said your name and you don't see it there, just let me know.
Everybody's like spinning their head around reading.
I know.
This is great. This really is impressive.
So let us click for the deck. And Gerald Trosasha said, here's a thought. Perhaps the person who wins a copy of the deck might want to join in the Relative Tarot deck casual. They would be welcome. Okay, let's see who wins the deck.
Yes.
Ooh, who's going to be? Who's going to be?
Everybody. Oh.
Woohoo! Roland Biscotti! Yay!
So what you need to do is email me your address and I'll ship this out tomorrow to you. So my email is carrie@carrieparis.com.
Let's see. Yay, Tanja. That's the second thing she's won.
Oh.
She won a copy of the Super Linares Tarot for me.
Nice.
So.
Very good.
Yay, Tanja. Yeah, and I have her info if you need it.
Okay, that'd be great.
So let's close that and let us see who will be talking to Carrie about putting together a charm casting kit for themselves. I should put my name in there too, but no.
Yeah, in there. Good luck.
Oh.
Oh.
Whispers of 3. Woohoo!
This is so great. I love the confetti. Good job, you guys.
Let's exit this full screen so I can get back to you guys. Otherwise, I won't be able to see anything. There we go. Remove that, and we're back. Woohoo! Congrats, Tanji. Congrats, Whispers of 3. So good. Did anyone put in Carrie's email for anybody?
Yes, Bev, I do. Thanks for asking.
Yes. Carrie wants to know, or Beverly wants to know if Carrie sells charm sets that you can just buy yourself.
So right now, I don't have anything for sale on my site. I just want you guys to know that because I'm totally revamping my site, my life, the way I do things on social media. So if you want anything, just get in touch with me through email, not through social media because I won't answer any messages. But if you want to, carrie@carrieparis.com. And I would love to make you a kit, Bev. Gosh, that would be fun.
Thank you so much, Carrie, and especially thank you for the generosity. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Next week, it's going to be the 4th Tuesday, so it's my usual play date with my friend Betsy, who's a medium. And we'll be doing readings. So I have to decide what deck I'm going to use next week.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see you combine the relative tarot with Julie's deck. I think that'd be
Ooh, I love that idea.
yeah.
Okay, I can make that happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, the relative tarot with the which of Julie's decks?
Ancestor. Yeah, right.
Ancestral.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be really, really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite Julie Kushawat's deck is the Ma'at for sure.
I love that deck. Very well.
Yeah.
Well,
So
thank you.
thank you again, and thank you everyone for being here. I will see you guys next week. Please come back if you would like a reading with me and Betsy. It's always a good time. We have lots of fun, and we always give some pretty deep readings. So thank you, everyone. Oh, and Anne just says, Orsi is live right now with Micah for those who want to join us. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Ciao.
Aloha.